The slow but permanent way to lose fat. This might be the most unpopular opinion in fitness, but the best transformations I've ever done, going from 30% body fat to single digit, happens slowly. And if you've tried the fast way and you failed in the past, there's a scientific reason why. My name is Dr. Michael Diamonds. I'm a medical doctor. I am a scientist and a pro natural bodybuilder. And I've undergone this transformation myself 5 times in the last decade, going through bulking and cutting cycles. But my best one, it took 12 months. 2021 during lockdown, I decided I'm gonna lock in for a full year. The result is my best physique to date. The sharpest my mind has ever been and the strongest my spirit ever felt. And I call this the minimalist maximalist protocol. There's one strategy and there's 4 phases. And look at the results of my business athletes doing this protocol. Brian down 43 pounds, Ashley down 20 pounds, Malik down 27 pounds, Kunter down 63 pounds. And here's the thing. These transformations happened and are permanent. No rebound, no yo-yo. And by the end of this video, you will have a complete roadmap to permanent fat loss. So you're probably like, okay, Dr. Mike, who is this for? The perfect fit for the minimalist maximalist protocol are 4 types of people. And number 4 is the type who will benefit from this protocol the most. Type 1 is women. In my experience, women need to keep their stress hormones low because fat loss can become effortless that way. Now, when you do the fast approach, you're spiking cortisol and their bodies hold on to fat. The slow way keeps your stress hormones low, so your body actually lets go of the fat and releases it. Type 2 are the yo-yo dieters. You've tried to lose weight before, some of it came off, but then it came back and sometimes then some. And you've been bouncing back and forth, but when willpower fades, so does your physique. Type 3 is the busy professional. Your health is your number 1 priority, but you're traveling constantly, you're eating out frequently for business, and you think that getting lean right now will steal time from your family or from your career. And the truth, the fast way demands perfection, the slow way gives you more flexibility. And type 4 are people who need a new identity. This is the most important one. Most people live life backwards. They think have, do, be. I want to have a 6-pack, so I will kill myself in the gym and then I'll finally be lean. But the truth is, it has to be, do, and then have. I need to behave like a person who's lean. So I'll be selective with what I put in my body and my abs will catch up. Your physique is a lagging indicator of the decisions that you've made in your mind. So you must become first, act from it, then the results show up. And belief comes from proof. Identity is the source code. Change who you are at the core and your life will catch up. And a 12-month journey isn't about trying another diet, it's about becoming a different person. Now, the biggest challenge when it comes to losing fat isn't about how to eat or what to eat, because in this world of Google, AI, YouTube, all the information is literally at your fingertips. You already know how to be in a caloric deficit, but true transformation starts in the mind. And before my business athletes start working with me, I tell them this. Anxiety exists between the gap of your expectations and reality. And let me show you what I mean. Let's say you want to lose 30 pounds in 30 days. We can all agree the gap between those 2 things is massive. So immediately, you're going to try and satisfy those unrealistic goals to get rid of your anxiety. You decide, perfect, I'm gonna do keto or carnivore. I know I'm gonna drop weight like that. And on top of that, I'm gonna do 3 high-intensity interval training sessions for 30 minutes. Week 2 comes around and your body's starting to feel sore. You're seeing the weight loss slow down and you're starting to feel exhausted and you're realizing this isn't gonna work long term. Now, we've all seen this movie and the ending is the same every single time. The weight comes back with a few extra pounds with it and you've given up. But what if I said, hey, I'm gonna lose 30 pounds in 6 months? That's 180 days. That's roughly 1 pound a week. More realistic, a smaller gap between your expectations and reality, and there's no anxiety. This is a journey of delayed gratification, and this is why 100% of people always do the fast way. But this requires patience. It requires discipline, and good things take time. And it requires someone keeping you aligned for 12 months, because that's where most people fail. Not week 1, when it's easy and motivation is high, but in month 6 when motivation starts fading. So this is the strategy that I built. The minimalist maximalist protocol, it's built on one core strategy with 4 phases. So let me explain the strategy first. In the fast approach, we're aiming for 1% of your body weight per week. So if you're 200 pounds, we want to lose 2 pounds per week. That roughly equates to establishing a 20% caloric deficit. But in the slow approach, we're gonna aim for half of that, 0.5% per week. And in this case, we wanna have a 10% caloric deficit. You're gonna eat more food, which feels counterintuitive because you've been told to eat less your whole life. But it's exactly why it works. So here's what I discovered working with hundreds of clients. Most people that come into my program that I coach personally are severely under eating. Think about it. You said eat less and you're getting into it desperately and you're like, I'm slashing my calories. I want to just get in and get out. Works for some, but if it hasn't, this is why. Your metabolism will get shot. It will just crash because you've been yo-yo dieting for years. We have to go through a metabolic correction first. And at Sculpt by Science, we use a custom calculator, but principle is simple. And I'll show you where to find that calculator. Instead of slashing your calories by 500, why not slash it by just 200, 250 calories tops? And if you're not seeing results week to week, that's fine. But just do 100 calories max of decrease, not 200. It sounds small, but what you need to do is to learn precision. That's where coaching becomes critical. When we work with clients, we just don't think calories in versus calories out. We run blood work. We figure out what is needed to fix their metabolism. We look under the hood and we say, okay, cool, this person needs a new transmission. Perfect, we need to change the oil here. Okay, this one needs a new filter. And we target visceral fat based off what your body needs. Because when you're 35 years old and above, it's just not about calories anymore. And you notice this because the way your body would lose weight in the 20s doesn't work the same now. It's about hormones. It's about inflammation, and it's about your metabolic health. Now, with the minimalist maximalist protocol, the goal here is to do the minimal amount of work to lose the maximum amount of fat. First, I'll walk you through the 4 phases. So let's talk about phase 1, the cut. It's going to be 16 weeks, 4 months. This is where we start shredding fat, but gently. So this is what we do with your nutrition. You're going to use a 10% caloric deficit, not 20%. And for most people, this means eating 200 calories fewer than your maintenance calories. So before you cut, you often need to raise your calories first to repair it. And this is what we call metabolic priming. And it's something that needs to be guided very carefully. Build your meals around this thought process. This is how you be, right? Instead of have. So if you just think of 3 meals, performance, sustainability, enjoyment. Now, 1 meal for performance, I'm talking something with high protein, quality carbs that will fuel your day. 1 meal for sustainability. For me, this meal is going to be a taco wrap that has all the right veggies in there. It has pickles in there, some kimchi, some lean ground beef as my protein source. And then you want 1 meal for enjoyment. Here I make this berry bowl or a yogurt, this meal I've made myself that's great for your gut, but is super sweet. It's a bowl of 10-calorie jello, which is actually great for you because it's actually just gelatin, which is high protein. I add a layer of Greek yogurt and then I top it off with berries, which has polyphenols, which can bring my inflammation down. This isn't about restriction. It's about precision with flexibility. This is what I mean about precision. Track your calories one day and be super precise. And essentially why this is important is that the next time you change calories, when you just decrease it by 100, your body will notice a difference. So if you plot this on a graph of calorie intake, what most people do is they know they should eat 2,300, but they eat 2,500, they eat 2,200, they maybe eat 2,600. And essentially you get a graph like this and your body never truly establishes a deficit because it doesn't know what you're trying to do. But if you're precise at 2,300 the whole time, and then all of a sudden you go to, let's say 2,200, your body will notice that difference. And that difference is where we create a true smart deficit. Now, when it comes to training, you've heard everyone say 4 sessions, 5 sessions, do a push-pull legs, which is 6. In the minimalist protocol, just start with 3 sessions. Focus on your form, focus on maintaining muscle tissue, not destroying yourself, not a crazy boot camp. Keep your cortisol low, but think of quality. So you can lose weight, and my busy professionals start at 3 sessions. Let's talk about cardio. You don't need formal cardio yet. You don't need to go on a treadmill. You don't need to do the Stairmaster or elliptical. And by what I mean is a structured session. You don't need a machine, no treadmill, no HIIT. All I want you to do is steps. So when I mean by minimalist maximalist protocol, if you see on your phone, you open the health app, the general person will say, go to 10,000. And I've given this advice if you're trying to do the fast way. But with the minimalist maximalist protocol, I just want you to add a small 2,000 steps to that. So go to 7. Don't do 8. Don't do 6. Do 7. And what I'm teaching you here is discipline. Discipline is not doing more than you're supposed to, not doing less what you're supposed to. It's doing exactly what you're supposed to do, especially when you don't want to do it. With the minimalist effort, you're getting max results for minimum effort, which is the goal here. And remember, we have a year, we have time. And this is the most important part in phase 1. It is going to be becoming a professional sleeper, a master of the bed. And this is non-negotiable. The aim is to get to 7 to 9 hours per night. And why this works so well is if I can get you to spend more time in bed, I'm boosting your testosterone, I'm boosting your growth hormone, and that burns fat. If you're at 5 hours, don't just tell yourself, sleep more. Identify the root causes. Am I waking up at night to pee at 3 a.m. all the time? Am I stressed out? Is maybe the fact that I'm drinking caffeine so close to bed? Or am I looking at screens before I go to bed, right? Or am I digesting my food? Then make adjustments to that. And some people use the simple 10-3-2-1 rule. No caffeine 10 hours before bed. No food 3 hours before bed. No liquids 2 hours before bed, and no screens 1 hour before bed. Others need different protocols depending on their baseline, but the point is, recovery isn't a luxury, it's the foundation. You may not lose any weight in month 1, which may sound crazy to you, but this is actually where most of the work is happening. After month 1, in month 2, you'll start saying, oh wow, I'm down 0.5. I'm down 1 pound. Now, truthfully, why I don't advise this all the time is because you need someone by your side to tell you keep going. And I say this to a lot of people. Have you ever tried walking in darkness? You know nothing's in front of you, but you hesitate because you're afraid of falling and tipping over. Exactly the same thing happens. And I'll tell you exactly how to overcome this later, so just stick with me. It'll feel easy compared to what you've tried before, and that's the point. Now, phase 2, month 4 to 6, right? 8 weeks we're gonna be here. This is where most people panic, but this is where the beauty comes in. This is what I call the recomposition phase, because you're going to start eating more. And most people are like, Dr. Mike, why? I'm losing fat. Why do you want me to start eating more? Because after 3 months of cutting, your body needs a break. Your metabolism must adapt. Your hormones have down-regulated. And if you keep pushing, you're gonna hit a wall and the weight will come roaring back. So instead, you're bringing your calories back to maintenance. So let's say hypothetically, in phase 1, you went from 2,500 calories, and in 4 months, all you did was drop 500 calories, right? Let's say you went 2,300, you stayed there for month 1, then you went to 2,200 month 2, then you went to 2,100 for month 3, and then you went to 2,000 for month 4. You saw amazing results. Then what you want to do is bring the calories back to maintenance, sometimes even higher. And there's some magic here that you guys have never thought about. Your weight will go up in the short term simply because you're eating more carbohydrates, your body will hold more water, which will freak out someone doing this alone. And then eventually your weight will stabilize, or it might even go up a little slightly. But here's the magic. You're building muscle now, and the muscle is the most powerful longevity drug on the planet. Muscle burns the most calories, it reshapes your body, and it protects your metabolism. And in this recomposition phase, you even look better because there's more glycogen, there's more carbs in your muscles, which makes your body pop just so much more. So there can happen where in this recomposition phase, you look even better. In this phase, our focus is gonna shift to training. The goal is to get stronger. We want to start pushing weights. We want to start doing more progressive overload. We're not technically in a deficit, so we can actually build. So this is how your nutrition will look. We'll increase calories gradually, 100 to 200 calories per week until you hit maintenance. Your protein stays high, that 1 gram per pound. But where these calories come in is from your carbs. Carbs come back up to fuel your training, and yes, you eat more, and that's the point. But here's the truth. If you don't trust the process, you're never going to get the weight off long term. This phase teaches you that food is not the enemy, it's fuel. Your energy comes back, your strength goes up, your mood improves. You look in the mirror and you start realizing, wow, I look better than I was looking even when I was eating more. And that's body recomposition. Less fat, more muscle, and some on a slightly higher weight. Let's move into phase 3, the cut, month 7 to 8. Now we're going back into a deficit. Your body is primed now. You've built muscle. Muscle burns a lot more calories. So even though you're cutting again, fat will come off easier this time. And this is exactly what happened to my client Harry. This is exactly what happened to Sandra. And all we do is we set up a 10% deficit again. It almost feels like a cheat code because you're still eating so much food and the fat's coming off. So this is what I want you to do with cardio and training. Here is where we strategically increase cardio when your body's recovered and your metabolism is primed. Only in phase 2. So now the big difference is we can start adding 2 to 3 sessions of zone 2 cardio to target that stubborn fat without burning you up. Your steps, we can go back to that 10,000. Now we can do the 12,000 steps. Now we can do the 15,000 steps, right? Now we're not doing HIIT. We're not doing any burnout cardios, but here's where precision matters. If your progress stalls, decrease your calories by 100 calories max. Don't slash, just adjust. Most people cut too aggressively here and you destroy everything you built in phase 2. And that's why having someone guide you through this is invaluable. You're getting veins coming up, people are noticing, asking what are you doing differently? And the best part, you're not tired, you feel good, you're not drained, you're not miserable. Now we jump into phase 4. This is where the magic happens. This is where the transformation becomes permanent. Most programs end when you hit your goal weight, but that's where most people fail because you never learned how to maintain this new body. Phase 4 is where you practice being the new person for 3 full months. For nutrition, back to maintenance calories, the amount your body needs to stay exactly where you are. No deficit, no surplus, just equilibrium. Now for most people, this is about 200 to 400 calories more than what you're eating in phase 3. Now I did promise you guys, where can you go to find these calculators? I've linked it in the description for you. It's the Sculpt by Science Precision Macro Calculator. Just input your data and say a 10% deficit, 1 gram of protein per pound, and voila. Now, let's talk about training and lifestyle. Training days stay consistent because it's the minimalist maximalist protocol. Once you're now in phase 4, instead of the 3 training sessions, we can work our way up to 4 to 5 and even to 6. Your body is now accustomed to training at that intensity. We again want to continue focusing on muscle and maintenance. Cardio becomes more flexible here, and some people stick to 12 to 15,000 steps and a few zone 2 sessions because they enjoy it. Now, most people hit their goal and immediately go back to normal, but normal is what got you to that 30% body fat physique in the first place. Phase 4 will rewire your brain. It teaches you that this is your new normal.